softball, then you are going to love the Fast Pitch TV show. We're bringing you more interviews, more videos, and more product reviews than anyone else on the planet. Sit back and get ready. Here's the Fast Pitch TV show.
Hello and welcome to the Fast Pitch TV show. I'm your host, Gary Leland. Now, if you found our show on Facebook, your Apple TV, or any other video sharing device, please check out my website. It's located at www.fastpitch.tv. It's the home of the Fast Pitch TV network and a place to find all my softball video channels, softball blogs. And at this time, there are 7 video channels and 11 blogs on the website, and all of these, every last blog and video channel is dedicated to one thing and one thing only, and that's Fast Pitch Softball. Now, I want to take a second to thank Markworks Sporting Goods. Now, Markworks Sporting Goods is a partner of the Fast Pitch TV show. And let me tell you, this is a great site to buy softball equipment from. They are more than just a softball store, actually. They're a distributor of all types of sporting goods, everything from football to hockey to baseball. I even buy from them for my online websites. So I can tell you, they give great service. They're great people. Please visit their website and show them some love. Go to their website at www.markwort.com. Now, earlier this year, I was at Softball Con. It's held in Louisville, Kentucky every year. I was at the first one that was held there in 2011, but I got to tell you, between 2012 and 2011, this thing's grown a whole bunch. It was a great convention. You really need to check out their website so you can find out information about next year's conference. Go to softballcon.net. Now, this week I'm bringing you part 3 of Jessica Mendoza's great clinic on slapping. Now, if you've not seen part 1 or part 2, I'd recommend going back to episode 200, watching that, and then watching 201, which is part 1 and 2, and then come back and watch part 3. I'll bring you part 3 of her clinic right after this word from my sponsor.
Do you need a softball bat? Do you want to save $30? SoftballJunk.com is offering an additional $30 discount off the price of all non-sale softball bats on their website. That's right, $30. So the next time you buy a bat, go to SoftballJunk.com and enter the code FPTV30 during checkout, and wham! You just put a cool $30 in your pocket.
So I know I talked about a lot of the tendencies, looking for the strengths and weaknesses, the agility of the infield, arm strength. You picked on the pitcher already. Also the tendencies. Second base to me, is one of the hardest positions on the field when you're talking short game. It takes a very smart. It's like I could never be second. I mean, I'm book smart, guys, but tell you what, I'm that street smart girl that's like, it took me like 15 minutes to find this room, for example, when they dropped me off. I was like going through every room possible, could not find my way here. I'm that player that could not play second base. I think. I'm gonna call myself out, throw myself under the bus. I'm great in the outfield. I can read pitches, got a lot of time, can soak everything in. But when I have to actually know and react where I'm covering, do I have second here? Talk about split grips and who's reading what. Second base is where I think the position that needs to be picked on. That's a position when you watch tendencies. The best athletes, we all know they always put them in short. Best player on the team with the best arm that can usually react, usually is the shortstop. I like to say left fielder, but I mean, we're talking infield right now. So the second baseman is usually that person that they might be a good athlete, they could be a lot of things, but for the most part, I'm willing to put my money down on that they're not going to be able to truly react on different types of short game. Like a simple, what I mean is like even if just a simple I show bunt and take a pitch. Just reading and seeing just for that one pitch. Did second base come here naturally or did she react and think I was going to slap? All kinds of, is she late to come over? Does first baseman crash or does the pitcher always cover on the first base side? Every defense has a different way of covering. So I'll tell you what, anytime I can get to that right side, a lot of times there's a first baseman that's playing pretty close to the bag. She doesn't want any part of a lefty coming in close. Especially a lefty that can maybe swing a little bit. I'm not saying serious power, but we all know, a lot of lefties aren't going to want to get in your face if I have a chance of turning on something and hitting it off your forehead. So they're usually going to play me back, and if I've got, my typical pitcher, none in the room of course, but the pitcher that should stay in the circle, and I get anything down to the right side, I'll be safe all day long, even if I'm not that fast. So it's just kind of knowing your defense, and as a coach at this point, that's where you tell your players. I mean, it's rare you're going to get a player that's come in the dugout and like, did you guys see that second baseman? Oh my gosh, she really didn't react well to I wasn't like that. I wish I was. But, it's just starting to get there now, as you can tell. But I think for coaches, that's where you can really find their tendencies, find their weaknesses, stay away from their strengths. And 9 times out of 10, it's a lot of times on that right side. So don't always get stuck in 5-6 hole land. I mean, that's a good place to be, but if they already know she's a slapper and they're pinching that area, that's where that diversity comes in really good. That's when maybe you power slap and try to do something up the middle. Or take anything to the first base side and see what they do. And then, getting into the trickery, a little bit of what I was talking about with the split grip, fun slap bunt. This is more advanced stuff, but the bunt slap bunt, like even just getting here and coming back here and taking a pitch, just to let them know I could do that if I want to. Because I'll tell you what, when I come up again and I show my bunt, they are not going to come charging. So these are things that I just really want to change the mindset of what a slapper is. A slapper is not someone that's just running through the box. It's someone that can do so many different things. She can bunt, she can slap, she can do both. She can show me both in the same pitch. And then, oh, by the way, she can stand and hit. One thing I mentioned on here that I've seen some of my teammates do, I don't personally do it, is actually now movement in the box and then getting to a swing way. So like Vicky Galindo, I don't know if any of you guys ever saw her play. She played at Cal Berkeley, she played for the Chicago Bandits now. She was on the 2008 Olympic team. She was one of the hardest to defend. So she was a short gamer that could hit away, but she never stood in and hit away. She would come with her crossover, get to here, but get here early enough to where now she's just in her hitting position and then hit. I mean, unbelievable. And like I said, she could hit home runs. So she was able to move. And I see that a lot with slappers. They come from the right side. They've gotten to where they're very comfortable on the move. In fact, they see well, they can get the end of their bat, they do everything right. Now you're trying to get them to hit away, and they look like just, they should have played the sports off. And they're still never really getting it. They're not getting in their legs. Now, I'm not saying give up on them. I think still teach them. But in the meantime, I think it's good to be able to get them into that position where now they can have some power with their slap. Same footwork, they're still very comfortable with it, but now what's happening is instead of them making contact in the crossover, they're now getting to toe touch, heel plant, boom. Basically they're striding in a very weird way, and they're able to hit. So that's something to add to the power of that true righty that's on the left side that has no power, and you're trying to get her there. I've also seen a slide step where literally you just bring your back foot to meet your front and come here and hit. For some reason, and again, this is just on a ton of slappers that I've worked with that have tried to work on hitting. For some reason, just doing that movement, they're still moving towards it just is that comfort, and that now they can hit. They feel more comfortable, they're in their legs, they're doing everything you would normally do when you hit, but now they have this movement. It's almost like that, just that transition from total slapper to total hitter, that in between, that bridge that gets them there. And that might be a bridge that's a 5-year bridge. It could be a 2-month bridge, but it's something, it's a suggestion, nothing that you have to do when you're trying to make that connection. And obviously the more diverse the better, and I think I've kind of made that point, but I see it, like I said, even in Division I college and at the young level, but just that classic slapper, that slapper that has one kind of slap and everybody knows it and they play her that way. And against the poorer teams it works because she's really fast and a non-athletic team isn't going to be able to throw her out that fast. But you never want to be satisfied with beating just the poor team. You want to be able to beat the best. So getting more slappers to be diverse from the beginning. So getting them soft slap, power slap, high chop slap, getting them in that swing away position, just showing them and doing consistently in practice. Because to me, that is when they start to get comfortable and they'll be able to implement in the game. And the last thing, I'm getting flagged a little bit, is to practice with your own defense. I talked about that earlier. I feel like that is what's helped my short game. And I know, again, I'm standing up here and I was like, Justin Mendoza, the short gamer, that's not exactly what I know you for. But I felt comfortable to where in both Olympic Games I was able to successfully slap after no one even knowing I did it, which is actually even better. And I always bunt. I bunt probably in every game. I show bunt in every single game I play. I might not put one down. I love letting them know I got it, and I just fooled you right there, so don't play me that far back. And it works perfect for, especially a lot of pitchers throwing me away. So if I get an outside pitch and I'm just trying to, I might lose my butt, but I got enough to hit it through the 5-6 hole. If I bring in the third baseman enough, that's a base hit. Otherwise, she gets me. So I always show that bunt. But making sure too that I'm comfortable with the slap. So if I get the sign from Coach Candrea in the 08 Olympics and championship game, I'm not going, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick because that just scared the crap out of me. Like, wow. No, I'm like, all right, I got this. If I did it off of Finch and Cat, I could definitely do it off of Ueno from Japan. Bring it on. Plus, I think what helps doing it against your own team is you know each other, and you start to know each other even more. So to be able to beat my third baseman and my shortstop, to be Natasha Wadley, yeah, she's not really a big deal at all, but just a name more than anything, she's not good. To be able to beat them, I mean, I have to be on my A game every time, and, it's humbling. I'm usually not getting on base a lot. So, it's competitive, or at least for me, I make it very competitive. I'm like, I'm trying to beat them. This is not a practice for them, this is practice for me. So I'm gonna beat you. And I think that's perfect for your defense and offense to go against each other. And it's something you can do off a machine or even just a BP pitcher. If you want to get your own pitchers throwing too, I just highly suggest just get them throwing, strikes and fatties, because you don't want it to be a long, drawn out thing. And if they are throwing fatties, make sure hitting away is not an option. And secondly, making sure the defense is trying to be as true as possible. That's the only time every now and then in practice we used to, all right, I'm going to let them hit away if they feel like it. You see the defense go, are you kidding me? It's like, I want to see you guys stay true. And I would see our third baseman creep up and creep up. And I'm like, you would play me there? Bustos, really? Come on. So, make him stay true. Because, yeah, it's real easy if you're at the bat right here and it's like, oh, yeah, I can feel this fun all day. Bring it. Or, if you slap, you're not able to slap by me. I mean, making it realistic. So kind of keeping an eye on that too. And it's kind of fun to watch them. You can do prizes. I've seen games where, one team has to run or not, or they get ice cream. I don't know, depends on the age. But getting them competitive, you're going to see them really try, go after it, make it more game-like.
Have you heard about the great softball coaches clinic that Fast Pitch TV is hosting? They have a great lineup of speakers, including softball pitching great Kat Osterman. See all the speakers at www.fastpitch.tv/clinic. I'm sure this clinic's gonna sell out quick, so get your ticket today.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed part 3 of Jessica's clinic on slapping. Make sure and come back next week and watch the 4th and final part of the clinic. That's going to be on next week's show. Now, if you have an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android phone, you really need to get the Fast Pitch TV show app today. Just go to your phone's app store, search softball or search Fast Pitch, and you'll find it, I promise you. Don't forget to check out our new skills video channel at www.coacheslook.com. This channel is made for high school players to submit their videos to be seen by college coaches. It's a great way for high school players to get noticed by college coaches, okay? Until next week, that's everything there is. So this is Gary Leland saying goodbye, and thanks for watching.
This show is a member of the Fast Pitch TV network.